Hello, Nigeria. I am Becky Badujemu. Welcome to Newsline this beautiful Sunday evening. Hope you had a great week. If you did or did not, our program will put you in the right mood for a good week ahead. All our stories have depths and they come from all regions of Nigeria. We have pleasant surprises, exceptional people waiting to be seen, unusual occurrences and festive gatherings. But let's start with the news by Claire Adelabu Abdurazak. Happy Sunday, Claire.
Happy Sunday, Becky. I like the power and energy you radiate this evening. And indeed, it is a very cold evening here in Abuja. But let's begin from Zamfara, where the federal government has suspended all mining activities. Acting Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamo, said this at a joint press briefing of police, military, and the Department of State Services in Abuja. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports that the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, Director General of the Department of State Services, Yusuf Magaji Bichi, and Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Ahmed Abubakar, were at the meeting.
For some time now, Zamfara State has been facing security challenges caused by armed bandits. It is in a bid to permanently put an end to all forms of criminal activities in the state and Northwest in general that the police, military, and other security services commence Operation Puff Adder.
Our commitment at protecting the sanctity of life and property is irrevocable, and we will not scale down the pressure on the armed bandits until they are totally flushed out. Meanwhile, in the face of intelligence report that has clearly established a strong and glaring nexus between the activities of the armed bandits and illicit miners, with both mutually reinforcing each other, the federal government of Nigeria has decided as follows. Mining activities in Zamfara and its environment are hereby suspended with immediate effect. I want to assure the general public, especially in the affected areas, that the security services are doing their best to address the security situation. May I appeal for the cooperation of the local communities, especially the traditional and religious leaders within the community, to cooperate with the security agencies.
Abubakar Adamu Muhammad also urged all foreigners operating in the mining fields to close and leave within 48 hours.
Consequently, any mining operator who engages in mining activities in the affected locations henceforth will have his or her license revoked. Meanwhile, we note the use of social media to spread fake news, falsehood, and deliberate misinformation. We therefore urge our citizens to exercise restraint in circulating uninformed information capable of doing more damages to all of us. Let us not allow the social media to hijack our sense of judgment and capture our minds negatively.
The operation is aimed at reclaiming every public space under the control of the bandits, arrest and bring to book all perpetrators of violence in the area and their collaborators. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force says the Air Task Force of Operation Diram Minkia has successfully destroyed the bandit logistic base at the Ajia in Birin Magaji local government area of Zamfara. NAF Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja. He said the ATF also neutralized dozens of the bandits at Ajia and Wonaka, and that the operation was executed sequel to human intelligence reports indicating that the bandits were using a compound in Ajia as a logistics store to support their operations. Consequently, the ATF dispatched the Nigerian Air Force Alpha Jet, supported by an intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance platform, to attack the compound, scoring accurate strikes on the target and causing it to erupt into flames, which engulfed the structures and resulted in the neutralization of some of the bandits. And still in Zamfara State, the state government has condoled with the people of Kaura Namoda Emirate of the state over the recent armed bandit attack, which claimed lives of over 50 members of the civilian JTF in the area. This was conveyed by the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Sanusi Garba Rikiji, who led a delegation to the Emir's palace. And President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, ahead of the 9th edition of the Annual Investment Summit beginning on Monday. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports that the president's visit is on the invitation of the UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum.
Buhari, who arrived Dubai International Airport at about 8:30 Sunday evening local time, was received by a high-powered United Arab Emirates government delegation led by the Minister of Infrastructure, Dr. Abdullah bin Mohammed Belhaif Al Nuaimi. Also on the welcoming party were the UAE ambassador to Nigeria and his Nigerian counterpart in Abu Dhabi, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the National Security Advisor, and other senior government officials. During the visit, the Nigerian leader is expected to deliver a keynote address at the Investment Summit under the theme Mapping the Future of Foreign Direct Investment, Enriching World Economies Through Digital Globalization. The summit is the largest gathering of corporate leaders, policymakers, businessmen, regional and international investors, entrepreneurs, leading academics, and experts, showcasing up-to-date information, strategies, and knowledge on attracting foreign direct investments.
You know that the thrust of the administration had been, 1, to secure Nigeria, 2, to revive economy, and then to fight corruption. There is no way you will revive your economy without going along with the rest of the world. The time when countries operated in silos has gone. Now you have to pull together. And the president has been invited to present a keynote address, after which there will be so many bilateral meetings. There are going to be about 120 countries represented at this investment summit. So it's a vital opportunity for Nigeria to tell the world what it has done, particularly with our economy and with security, because you can't talk of investment without a secure environment, and to also talk about the anti-corruption war, because you know that Nigeria and UAE has an affinity. A lot of businesses and investment flow from Nigeria to here and vice versa. So it's an opportunity to open Nigeria to the rest of the world.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who was earlier in Jordan, where he addressed the World Economic Forum, is being accompanied on the visit by Governor Muhammad Badaru Abubakar of Jigawa State. From Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has described the victory of senators and House members-elect of the 9th Assembly as an attestation of the trust and confidence their constituents reposed in them. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that this was contained in a communication from the President to the lawmakers undergoing orientation.
President Muhammadu Buhari, in the letter read by the clerk to the National Assembly, Sani Umolori, urged the newly elected lawmakers to cooperate with the executive to reposition the country.
The National Assembly will benefit immensely from your rich experience, ability, and wisdom. I look forward to your joining hands with me as we collectively strive to put in place enabling laws, policies, and programs that will uplift the economic and social well-being of Nigeria.
In the meantime, Chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonoye, while delivering a lecture at the orientation for the first batch titled Legislature and the Fight Against Graft and Corruption, called for openness in appropriations for the National Assembly to eliminate public criticisms.
I looked at what 55 Nigerians stole, the amount that was in contest in courts across the country, 1.5 trillion. For every naira that is stolen, there is a cost of something denied. And using World Bank rates, we calculated For example, how much social development, 1/3, which represents 451 billion only, of that stolen money, that the cases were in court, what it would have done to Nigerians. It would have provided 635 kilometers of roads. It should have built 36 ultra-modern hospitals, one in each state, and that will stop medical tourism.
The orientation program for the second batch begins tomorrow, Monday, 8 April 2019. Lami Ali, NTA News.
Let's turn attention to health matters now. And the 7th of April every year is observed globally as World Health Day. Now, this year's celebration combines focus on the advantages of universal health care and access to financial protection and health services with commemoration of the World Health Organization's 71st anniversary. In the context of the focus this year, Basi Itaikman takes a look at Nigeria's proximity to achieving universal health coverage by the year 2030.
WHO report indicates that an estimated 800 million people globally are not covered by essential health services, while about 65 million people cannot afford basic health services. The report ranks Nigeria among the highest, with out-of-pocket expenditure leading to the death of about 12.4% per 1,000 annually. These are the reasons WHO is reminding world leaders that there can be no health security without universal health coverage.
We need to, if we want to reach sustainable development goals, target 3.8 on achieving universal health coverage by 2030.
So it's essentially about equity, it's about realizing the human right to health.
Experts say strengthening the healthcare sector for universal health coverage is the key instrument for the change offered by the Agenda 2030.
This administration has been talking about revitalization of 100,000 PACs, and we have started. Let's do this work to create awareness. Let's also make sure that people understand what we are saying, so that at the end of the day, we're all working towards universal health care, which is that destination. So we're on the journey, and we'll reach there.
2019 things like the 2018 is universal health coverage. Everyone, everywhere. This is to ensure that everyone, everywhere has access to the type of care they want and at the time they want, right in the hearts of that community. Basi Itaikman, NTA News.
Thank you, Basi Itaikman. Now, in other news, the drive to revolutionize the country's leather industry and create employment has started yielding results. The latest is the successful training, graduation and sponsorship of 64 youths to effectively harness the value chain of the leather industry. Justin Bemunye reports that the program is controlled by the Nigerian Institute of Leather and Science Technology in collaboration with United Nations Development Program, UNDP.
This is barely 4 months down the line after the federal government approved National Leather and Leather Products Policy to exploit the country's leather resources. Just before now, she was not just unemployed, she was also an unskilled young Nigerian with almost nothing to offer to an employer. Jubilee Nanso from Langtan North, Plateau State, against all odds, now prides herself as certified specialized artisan in leather craft after undergoing an intensive 3-month training program on leather and leather products manufacturing. She's not just one of the 34 trainees from Kogi and Plateau States graduating from the first batch of the program, but the only female amongst the beneficiaries. The program builds capacity in specialized artisans on leather craft to enable them become employers of labor.
And by doing so, you will be starting a new business. And you'll be in a position to hire people. This is how to create jobs.
48 trainees from the internally displaced camps from Borno State were matriculated to undergo the 6-month training program in Nilest, Abuja. And 34 incubatees, as they are referred, from the Federal Capital Territory were also graduated. In Abuja, Justin Bemunye, NTA News.
Now, Royal Ceramics, a product of West African Ceramics Limited, which is the leading manufacturer of ceramics, vitrified and roofing tiles in Nigeria, has taken its unique and affordable products further to the doorsteps of Nigerians. This is coming as the company inaugurates its 16th mega showroom in Sokoto, the seat of the Caliphate. Belhatu Abdullahi reports.
The company is in Sokoto in partnership with Rebelka Nigeria Limited to make its quality products available to customers. The Royal Exclusive Showroom is expected to also serve as a center where customers will get informed and be educated on the right application of tiles in their houses and offices.
My message to people of Sokoto, first of all, is an advantage position now. Royal Ceramic as exists in Sokoto, they don't need to travel all the way to Abuja, to Lagos to buy this material. In Sokoto, with this exclusive showroom, they can get any material they want in-house here.
I'll tell you that this product that is being made in Ajaokuta is almost the same thing, or even better than some of these products that have been imported. This same quality you can check with Julius Berger. The same quality Julius Berger tested the foreign and Nigerian products together. And they found that some of our products are even better than the ones that are imported.
At the inauguration ceremony, Nigerian media was tasked to do more toward promoting made-in-Nigeria goods by a veteran broadcaster.
The fourth stage of the RIAM is to expose those values of the country so that people will exploit the potentialities and harness those potentials that we have in the country towards developing the economy generally and for future development for better Nigeria.
It was friends and well-wishers that graced the inauguration of Royal Exclusive Showroom in Sokoto. Belhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And key players at the just concluded ICT training for female farmers and entrepreneurs have commended President Muhammadu Buhari for promoting initiatives which will make Nigerian women to be at par with global best practices and ease of doing business. Here again is Basi Itaikman with the rest of the story.
Drawn from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT, the women were trained on best practices in the application of ICT to their business.
I believe that it's the biggest opportunity we have right now as women to show what we can do in this world.
The wife of the president represented observed that, given the right opportunity and environment, women can do greater things. She reiterated her commitment to ensuring that Nigerian women are given a greater sense of belonging.
She is always advocating for the increased enrollment of women and children in school. On her own, she encouraged the establishment of vocational center.
Director General, National Women Development Center, commended the present government for investing and empowering the women.
It's pertinent to know that no nation can fully develop to its ultimate potential without investing in education, empowerment, and development of its citizens, especially in women.
The participants were presented with laptops as a way of motivating them to put to use what they learned. Basi Taipang, NTA News.
Now, women's minimal participation in election has multidimensional implication for the democratic project in Nigeria and for the continuing quest for gender equality in Africa's biggest economy. Timothy Yusuf reports on a strategic meeting on experience sharing of female candidates in the 2019 general elections.
The 2019 elections is the 6th consecutive general election since the beginning of the Fourth Republic in 1999. This marks what is undoubtedly a measure of democratic processes, especially for conducting periodic elections since the return to civil rule. What remains deeply in doubt, however, is how inclusive this progress has been, and in particular to what extent women have benefited in the process. Political analysts believe that the 2019 general elections witnessed a sharp decline of women participation in politics, mostly in elective positions. According to the Center for Democracy and Development, statistics for now showed that only 4 female occupied the position of deputy governor in the recent polls, with 7 winning election into the Senate. 11 female candidates made it to the House of Representatives, while 40 succeeded at the state houses of assembly level.
That is not where we used to be. The decline is alarming.
Do we want to continue along that trajectory? I think we need to have an introspection.
Former House Leader in the 7th Assembly, Mulikat Akonde Abiola, is among many that contested elections in the recently conducted elections, although she lost in her bid to become a senator of the Federal Republic.
We cannot, because we want to win election, begin to denigrate ourselves as women or do things that our children will be ashamed of, tomorrow. For
Mufuliat Fijabi of the Nigerian Women Trust Fund, organizer of this gathering, the conversation on how women can improve participation in 2023 general elections is now.
We have to reverse the table and make it become something that recognizes the importance of women in any development process.
Mulikat and other female contestants in the 2019 general elections identified the issue of voter inducement and intimidation as major factors that militated against their victory at the polls. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Well, I guess the conversation continues. Now, in other stories, over the years, the Nigerian creative industry has played a major role in boosting the Nigerian economy, especially providing job opportunities. However, this success story cannot be told without mentioning the House of Fame industry known as Kannywood. Gufan Shaji reports that players in the industry gathered at the Hilton Abuja to celebrate these achievements, but especially the role it played in achieving victory for the All Progressives Congress.
These celebration songs and dances is attuned to Kannywood industry players and supporters who are here to celebrate the victory of the All Progressive Congress in the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. With Kannywood's undeniable involvement in this feat, it became natural for the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibajo, to applaud and urge Nigerians to come on board and support the next level agenda.
It's so important that at this next level where we're going, we need the support of everyone. We need to work with the entire country. And who best to galvanize the country than the entertainment industry with both drama and music and even poetry. And that's the reason why I am extremely proud of the work that Kannywood has done through the years.
While appraising Kannywood for its role in developing the cultural heritage of the Hausa community and how the industry is addressing issues on sexual abuse and insurgency in the Northeast, some actors advocate the need for more funding.
We do not have a proper marketing structure like other woods around the globe. So I think that's what we expect that should really be considered,
to society and how it affects the youth. Investment should be done to enable our netting potential to spread that message.
To provide financial support to the industry to upgrade its technology.
The Kannywood industry players presented awards of appreciation to deserving individuals. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
All right, it just poured a few hours ago here in Abuja, but let's check the weather prospects for the rest of the country for Monday.
Welcome to the weather forecast with Amarachi Ngube. Moisture is sufficient within the country as the maritime winds dominate most parts of the country. For Monday, we expect patches of cloud with sunshine to prevail over the northern region, while we anticipate partly cloudy to cloudy skies across the central down to the southeast coast. Scattered thunderstorms are likely over some parts of the southwest within Oshobo, Lagos, Ijebu-Ode, and Akure during the morning hours. Later in the day, there are more prospects of scattered thunderstorms over most places in the southern region, extending towards the high grounds of the central states, such as Abuja, Jos, and Makurdi. Let's see how the weather affects the temperature. Bye for now.
right, as always, time for some commercial breaks, but Becky will be back on the line thereafter. Stay with us.
Sorry. Where are you?
I'm at the bus stop.
Okay, dinner is ready and mommy wants you to come home.
Okay, I'm coming as soon as I get a bus.
The Institute for Strategic and Development Communication, Nasarawa State University, KEFI, and Igbinedion University, Okada, cordially invites participants to the International Conference on Science Communication, Food Security, and Community Empowerment, and the Popularization Workshop on Script, Science Communication Curriculum. Venue, Sanusi Lamido Hall, Main Library Complex, Igbinedion University, Okada. Date, 9th and 10th April 2019. Keynote address titled Science Reporting, Food Security and Development in Africa. Professor Tony Iradia, Igbinedion University, Okada. Special guest of honor, Senator Matthew Ugohide, Chairman, Senate Committee on Public Accounts. Hosts, Professor Suleiman Bala Muhammad, Vice Chancellor, Nasarawa State University, KEFI. Chief host, Professor Lawrence Ikechukwu Ezemonye, Vice Chancellor, Igbinedion University, Okada. Professor E.S. Daundaura, Executive Director, Announcer.
At Access, we ask ourselves, how far can we go in our new diamond setting?
Much further than we ever dared to dream.
Our success will be tied to the success of our 29 million and growing number of customers.
Because with the best professionals in our industry,
backed up by the best innovators and technologists,
underpinned by the best security and safety on offer,
you can dream big too.
Access, more than banking.
In today's world, it's tough being a woman. But thanks to So Clean, Nigeria's #1 detergent with stain magnet technology, doing washing is a whole lot faster and smarter too. Only So Clean has stain magnet technology with an advanced enzyme formula that pulls out even the toughest trapped dirt, just like powerful magnets. No wonder Nigerians love So Clean. So Clean, for a faster, brighter, cleaner wash.
Developing the nation's human resource.
Thanks for staying with Newsline. During the week, the world marked Autism Day. People living with autism took advantage of the day to spread awareness on the condition and to show their natural abilities. Annie Daniels was part of the event that held in Lagos. Here's a summary.
They can identify random objects and interact freely within the limits of their scope. However, some people consider them unstable and react to them with pity.
Because they have challenging behaviors, the behavior is what the parents see first. They
sometimes neglect the strength that the children possess.
Yes, there are children with autism, a neurodevelopmental disorder that impairs their ability to communicate and interact effectively with no known cause. Oritoke Aluko Olokun and Ajoke Ahumbelem both have autistic children. They share some experiences.
He was very, very hyperactive. He would push down the television, he would break things, he would be very stubborn.
Who didn't understand what autism was? Who had the notion that it could be spiritual? From my side, and I was victimized.
That is why some concerned Nigerians have joined heads together to fashion out measures to raise awareness about people living with autism. They also seek to broaden the minds of the uninformed about the puzzle ribbon adopted as the universal sign of autism awareness.
The puzzle is just to tell you that they are different. Our children are different. Once you've seen a child with autism, you've seen just one child. So you cannot use one type of therapy for all of them. You must take the child as an individual, learn the style of the child. Is the child an auditory learner? Is he a visual learner? Is he a kinesthetic learner? You need to know what makes that child tick, and then you tailor the therapy towards that.
These children, all autistic, are lovers of arts. I watched closely and came to a conclusion that their intellectual capacity is on a different plan, which proves their brilliant nature. Can you believe these artworks are all made by these autistic children?
When you help the child, you get to know that the child is not useless. There's something in that child.
Emeka Ahumbelem is 30 years old. He was born with autism, but today, Emeka takes care of autistic children. He has an advice for parents with autistic children.
Take care of their children.
Check this out.
You have a girlfriend?
Yes, ma.
Is a girlfriend?
KG.
Did I hear you laugh? I did too. Now, how about one last advice from the caregivers?
There's a perfect gift in all our children. We just have to unfold them and reveal it. We always tell parents not to see it as a spiritual attack or something different, but as a means of communicating their needs or their whatever they would like to pass across. There are organizations out there that can help. You don't give up on your child.
People with autism do have special abilities, and we must help them express their talents. Moving on, one of the outstanding schools in Abuja, Nigerian Tulip International College, has awarded full scholarship to about 48 primary school pupils that will cover their entire secondary school sessions. The presentation ceremony was held at the school's 16th annual National Mathematics Competition prize giving and awards in Abuja. Oyinaya Kalu Oka, who was there for Newsline, reports that the competition has produced whiz kids in mathematics across the country.
Mathematics is different things to different students. To some it is magic, to others it is mystery, and to some it is miracle. But to some of these students participating in this competition, it is as simple as ABC. Yes. These pupils, ages 5 to 6 from different schools across the country, have been able to demystify mathematics, all thanks to the efforts of the Nigerian Tulip International Colleges in Abuja.
Before, I didn't really consider maths as my favorite subject, but over the years, I've been solving many problems.
Tulip International Colleges has been able to make students love mathematics through its annual National Mathematics Competition. Since 2003, the school has been conducting mathematics competition for both public and private schools across the country.
From the information we receive from the teachers of these peoples, it really helps them and motivates them as well, teaching the kids, teaching the pupils in their schools.
At the 16th edition of the prize giving and award ceremony, 48 exceptional pupils out of the 40,000 who took the test in various states were rewarded with 100% tuition fee that will cover their entire secondary school year at the Nigerian Tulip International Colleges, as well as cash prizes presented to the pupils and their teachers.
The things you've just seen in the hall there it will create a ripple effect in the future to come, because you have not just influenced those ones who have received the awards, you've also influenced those ones who have not actually received the awards, but they've created an impression that if they can do it, then I can also do it.
They will develop their innovative abilities, their creative abilities, and making them self-reliant.
Then came the moment everyone waited for, the overall best people in mathematics.
We have a champion coming, we have a winner coming, and the people's name...
12-year-old Master Ejeze Tobechukwu clinched the first position with a total score of 96.67%. Miss Jessica James from Rivers State came second. The 3 top positions were awarded full tuition plus cash prizes.
I feel very excited. If you put your mind into maths, you understand that maths is very, very simple.
I'm very happy and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Teachers who prepared the pupils as well as the schools were recognized and presented with gifts.
The NTIC has rightly done, catching them young, training them and getting them to know that mathematics is the basis of everything we do.
National Mathematical Center Abuja and Access Bank supported the school for the success of the competition, which has attracted about 171,000 pupils since inception in 2003. There were side attractions with presentation from pupils and raffle draw for teachers.
We put our heads together and decided how can we really alleviate the maths phobia among the peoples of Nigeria. So the main essence is to alleviate the maths phobia and encourage students to do better in mathematics.
The 16th edition of the Nigerian Tulip International College's annual mathematics competition was exciting as it was intellectually challenging. As most schools say, they look forward to it yearly.
Families of every right to be very proud, and mathematics requires so much commitment and practice. Congratulations to those kids. Now, weeks ago, Newsline brought you a story of the demolition and displacement of about 150 children at the Divine Wound of Jesus Orphanage and Rehabilitation Center in the Federal Capital Territory. The new dimension to the story is the rejection of accommodation by the Federal Capital Territory Administration, which came as a surprise. Let's now join Emmanuel Ayimiru, who has been monitoring the event, for an update on the status of the home.
Friday, the 5th of April, makes it the 11th day that the orphanage was demolished and the children are still in the custody of Mrs. Victoria Ezemoka, the proprietor of the rehabilitation center. She says efforts are being made to pay for the accommodation secured for the children. Have you notified the government that you have secured a place?
Yes, I told them that we have found a place, but we have not paid. That is why the minister said he's going to help us by paying 5 million, and we will complete the 2.6. So that is our hope for now.
That is the 12 units of 2-bedroom flats hoping to be paid for. The building is located close to the orphanage in Kubwa. The sympathetic situation of the orphanage had attracted the attention of the FCTA, and efforts were made to relocate the children to government-owned orphanage in Gwagwalada, but to the surprise of many, they declined.
What they told us they were going to do was take us to another place in Gwagwalada, very far from an environment we are not used to. We don't know. So we begged the minister that if they can take us back to our place, we'll be happy.
From our findings, the orphanage is among the 25 registered orphanages in the Federal Capital Territory, and the source of their children include abandonment and, in some cases, children left in police custody, as indicated by this letter from the place.
People brought the children by themselves. Bring for me by the Nigerian police, just like this one. They brought this child this morning. I don't see the reason why I would reject the child they give to me to take care of as a good citizen of Nigeria. So that is how I get many of the children.
The failure of society, many say, may have been responsible for the reasons some parents abandoned their children.
She has been partnering with us, empowering persons living with disabilities since 7 years.
The FCTA Social Welfare Secretariat says so far, the 27 infants taken from the orphanage
to the FCT Unity Children Home in Gwako, Gwagwalada are doing well.
Those within the age of 9 months, 1 year, they are with us in our orphanage home. You see, investigation to some certain extent has to be carried out on talking specifically about the source of the children and what she does with the children.
21-year-old Jumoke Lawrence claimed she was dropped by her parents when she was in SS1, but now in the university, courtesy of the orphanage.
Has been sponsoring me and is still sponsoring me, coupled with a scholarship from JCI, ASU, Nigeria. And my parents, my dad is late. He died even before I was born. I'm not the only one. There are about 4 others in the university, and they are grown-ups like me.
So how do you get to know about this place?
It was my mom that brought me here when things were too tough for her.
While all these are going on, the tussle for the land and reasons for the demolition are still on. From all indication, there is more to this story, and Newsline will always be there to keep you posted.
Saga continues. It will only end after those children are settled and comfortable. Time to take a break. Please stay with us.
You discovered the things even before you discovered being a mom. You ate the things that you would not touch before. You listened to brand new music. Now keep discovering with Molfix Newborn. Its soft and breathable surface gently touches your baby's skin. Its ultra-absorbent structure locks the liquid in, provides the care your newborn baby needs. Molfix Newborn. Happy today, happy tomorrow.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold, and it's that little jolt that you feel is the hot or the cold getting to the nerve of the tooth, causing that discomfort. If the sensitivity is left alone, it may get worse. Dentists recommend Sensodyne. It's able to get inside the tooth and calm the nerve of the tooth down. It has years of research behind it. It works.
Relieve tooth sensitivity with Sensodyne Daily Care 40 milligrams for just 350 Naira only.
Introducing the new Nivea Dry Impact and Dry Comfort deodorants. Now with quick dry effect and longer lasting fragrance. Guaranteed to keep you feeling dry and fresh all day. Proven 48-hour protection and longer lasting fragrance with the new dry deodorants from Nivea.
Who wants to be surprised? Me! Buy 2 bottles of 400 ml Fresho and get 1 pack of Pure Bliss cookies free.
Now that's my kind of surprise.
Who wants to be surprised?
Buy 1 bottle of 750 ml Fresho and get 1 pack of Pure Bliss cookies free. Also, buy a carton of 115 ml Fresho and get 1 Pure Bliss pack free. Surprise yourself with Fresho. Fill up and keep going.
Imagine what happens when you miss a flight, not because of a boarding pass, but for refusing to pay gratification to some public officers who ordinarily should provide the service. Well, a book written by one of Nigeria's literary icons, Professor Ngwebe Vicky Sylvester, encapsulates some of these harsh truths and a myriad of social realities that impede development in Africa. Doyin Dia is our guide.
It is a common say that the length to which a man covers in life is determined by his ideology. This is so because his lifestyle is mostly influenced by his environment. Professor Ngwebe Vicky Sylvester captured this in one of her literary pieces. She has spent years researching on these vices called corruption and its myriad of consequences. One of her literary works titled The Cabal and the Naked Dance, with 15 chapters, encapsulates real-life situations that reflect the Nigerian society.
I just thought about something a mother was complaining about her son, and I just laughed and said, this cabal thing they talk about as if it's specific to certain people in government. It is something that has become a culture, and if we are not careful with our children, right from when they start taking money out of your purse stealthily and doing things, some of them taking drugs or introducing themselves to alcohol with peer groups, that is when the problem starts.
Professor Vicky's publication appeals to those in the public and private sector with morals that can help shape the society.
A lot of the things are not limited to one person or one group or a collection or a group of certain people. It has to be handled holistically.
The Cabal and the Naked Dance is not the only book in our shelf. The academia also has several literary works on the preservation of the African culture and values which have gained acceptance within and outside the country.
Professor Sylvester has written so many works, they are numerous, based on the issues that are assigned to a particular period of time in literature.
She always stands to project the African culture more, simply because of course, we are all Africans, and this said it's high time we sell our own culture, project our own society over the Westerners.
As the head of department here, she organized about 3 conferences, international conferences on African literature and languages. So these are some of her contributions. On the one hand, she has written, she has taught, and she also organized a conference where she gave people the platform to present their researches.
This embodiment of knowledge and beauty was recently honored by our alma mater at the just concluded 2019 University of Abuja International Conference and inducted into the Hall of Fame. This is in recognition of our contributions to the growth of the African-rich heritage at the wake of globalization.
We need to encourage our youth, but I have consistently said we should not just encourage reading in English. We should ensure that the local languages around the schools and the universities should be taught.
Like Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka, and other African poets whose works cut across the shores of the African continent and are relevant to the present situation in the society, Professor Ngwembe desires to see the integration of the African culture taken from one generation to another for centuries to come.
Thanks for that report, Joy. Man has over time evolved, devising means of advancing by developing technologies that make life easier and better. But there is this growing concern that these technological devices, if not used with caution, can be harmful, leading to long-term illnesses or even death. Chimdema Ndubisi delves into this matter, interacting with health experts on precautionary measures to take while using a mobile phone, computers, and other gadgets.
19th century, the era that marked a milestone in human existence, development, and technological advancement, the birth of a computer age. The world becoming a global village was no longer a concept, but reality. With a click or two on the telephone or computer, people could connect across the globe, either for social or business interaction. These devices also come in handy in the search for knowledge. But with this comes the other side of the coin, addiction to technological devices. We sought to know from a cross-section of the public what they reach out for first when they wake up.
Once you wake up from sleep, what do you reach out for?
Well, I check on my phone.
I don't normally switch off my phone 24 hours.
it's always on.
35-year-old Goodness Moses tells me he cannot do without his mobile phone, as it is his office.
My customers always call me on phone, they WhatsApp me.
More so, most professional endeavors these days are reliant on information and communication technology-driven facilities. These professionals observe that constant use of such devices is now taking a toll on them.
If I'm supposed to use 8 hours in the office per day, for instance, out of the 8 hours, the time I spend on computer should be around 6 hours. It's actually telling on my eyes.
Health experts say undue exposure to radiation from these gadgets and wrong posture taken when using them pose hazards to health.
When we have an individual who presents with a very irritable eye, it's red, it's quite itchy, the person is finding it difficult to concentrate at work, it's tearing all the time. When we ask necessary questions from the history, we may just begin to find out that such a person has been exposed on the long term to use of their computer or their laptop, and they're using it inappropriately.
This earpiece completely occludes the ear canal, and the magnitude of quantum of sound being transmitted, everything is under a sealed ear. Over time, we know that this can lead to what we call noise-induced hearing loss. Noise is also known to be a predisposing factor or an aggravating factor of cardiovascular diseases. There is this sort of computer-related stress syndrome that some people develop. They become very restive when they get addicted to it.
The projection is that in the nearest future, this generation will have more people with visual impairment or that are bent over while walking due to the wrong posture assumed when using the phone or computer.
Anything like that, to use any sort of device and everything, will definitely put strain on the neck. And combination of extra growth of bone, we're talking about the spine now, or inflammation of some of the ligaments and the tissue around where the spinal cord is. You can have compression of the spinal cord, or in the lower back, you can have compression of the nerves that actually go into the legs and the bladder. And then you can now have patients who are having problems with using their hands or problems with walking.
Well, a stitch in time, they say, saves 9. So, what can be done to correct these anomalies?
Whenever you're using any of these devices, it's all about ergonomics. There's a natural posture for the body. For example, you can see the way I am. My head is upright, okay? My head is square with my neck. My shoulders are upright. So if you're using a phone, it should be like that.
Your eye level should not be on the same level with the screen of the computer. Neither should it be above your eye level. While now using the devices, we all need to remember to blink frequently.
Use earphone rather than answering directly. Using a speakerphone and talk. Sometimes you try and switch it off, especially at night when you want to sleep.
Health professionals are encouraging people to, as a matter of urgency, take precautionary measures to safeguard their health.
Very educative feature that was. We should adopt those measures in a hurry. Now, plants are important to our daily existence. Apart from providing us with oxygen, they are part of our daily diets, and of course, they are raw materials for production. Plants are indeed part of our lives, like the calabash that has defied extinction despite modernity. Hawa Haliru Haruna from Jigawa State reports on the usefulness of the calabash.
In a typical northerner's home, it is not uncommon to be served food or water in a calabash, despite the overbearance of the modernity. People still utilize these calabashes in a unique way to promote culture and craftsmanship. They come in different shapes and colors to the admiration of their users. Added to this, calabash are used to preserve food or water to remain cold or warm, depending on the weather and situation. One advantage of calabash is that its raw materials are within the reach of the craftsmen, as they come from farms and at times planted around the housing environment, harvested by housewives or farmers alike.
We sometimes planted calabash around our environment and buy some, as the one we planted will not be enough for us throughout the year.
In all marketplaces around Jigawa State and other neighboring states, calabash selling points witness boom of buyers every day, despite the modern forces that introduced other modern household utensils. The calabash sellers, craftsmen, and buyers explain why.
We are managing the business. We thank God for the little we are getting. The introduction of plastic containers have reduced the patronage of calabash, despite the impact it has on human life.
We are not used to plastic containers. We still maintain our traditional way of using calabash in all domestic activities.
500 francs, 500 naira, which is a dozen price here in my country, is only one piece now, we say, then that means 11 of it is my profit.
But despite this boom and patronage of calabash, the business and usage of the product is, however, relatively affected by the introduction of rubber products. Also, the raw materials are sourced from the farm. It is as well seasonal in nature, as the craftsmen get more of the raw materials seasonally as against all year round. This notwithstanding, calabash is not in a short supply, and it may take time before its extinction, for its advantage for domestic purposes. The business of calabash in Shuarin, Kiawa local government area of Jigawa State is a department of its own. As you can see, artists are busy with their daily activities.
Calabash can never go extinct, just like palm wine. They also go together. Next up, give us an opportunity and we will prove to you that we are the best helpmates you can ever dream of. That's the new slogan women are chanting everywhere in secular and even religious circles. Well, their prayers have been answered as the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has carved out a women's wing. Momso Damian Dati captured the public presentation and Thanksgiving for Newsline.
She's always a woman to me. She can lead you.
They are wives, they are mothers and sisters, but most importantly, they are women united by one faith, common goal and purpose. From the north, east, west and south of Nigeria, they make their way to the National Ecumenical Center, Abuja.
We are an incubator, and therefore we must stand in the gap for the peace, prosperity, unity, economic and social development of our country, Nigeria.
The event is the public presentation of the new executives of the Women's Wing of the Christian Association of Nigeria, who were elected from different denominations across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Behold the newly elected Christian women leaders who are resolute to do things differently, God helping them.
We move higher and higher in the name of Jesus.
As it is synonymous with women, special renditions and presentations colored the event.
When a nation is in unity, the nation will develop. We are to preach peace to the people so that we will love one another, we have good mind to one another, we will be in oneness, and there will be harmony. in our nation, Nigeria.
Now, God has endowed women with certain qualities, and we need to use it. That is, from the home. We need to preach peace, not only preaching, we need to live it, to show it. As long as the women are in the church, ecumenism will gain its rights.
God, who created men, created women also, and they are indispensable partners. The Lord saw that it was not good for Adam to live alone, and he made able partner for him.
Great move there by Khan. Newsline returns shortly.
New Always Cotton Soft. Its unique top sheet is as soft as cotton and gentle to your skin, offering you comfortable protection as you go about your day. New Always Cotton Soft, available in long and extra long for 250 Naira only.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
It is a popular saying that the greatest legacy a man can leave behind for his family is not money or wealth, rather a legacy of good character and faith. Such can best describe the late Islamic scholar Sheikh Ibrahim Inyas, who, from a humble background in faraway Senegal, became one of the most celebrated personalities, even in death. The 43rd annual Maloud, organized in his name, turns the Abuja National Stadium to a mecca of some sorts. Doing Dia has the sights and sounds.
For Ibrahim Ali, who have had years of experience in camera handling, disembarking from the fully air-conditioned bus after spending few hours in the gridlock and finding a way through the mountain top for the best angle shots was the first pointer to the reality of a serious business he is embarking. The 43 annual Maloud provided the needed atmosphere for the spiritual rejuvenation, networking, and business activities. The passion and resilience to catch a glimpse of the yearly event, as demonstrated by these lovers of the late Muslim scholar who came from far and near, speak volumes of the life and legacies of the late Sheikh. One need no soothsayer to know that it is indeed a good day for these traders who took advantage of the occasion to make ends meet. One of the many side attractions here is this wonderful artistic work, this carrier bag, which is beautifully designed to promote the late Muslim cleric.
I reached 20 years now. I leave Kaduna to other state to sell this one.
The energy with which they are dancing here shows the kind of resilience, passion, love, and dedication, most of which they learned from the values and legacies of the late Sheikh Ibrahim Inyas.
They are rejoicing because we are now giving him 119th celebration of his birth.
Pulling such mammoth crowd is such a task which requires some high-level planning, such as security, medicals, and general welfare of the guests. But to what extent did the committee put this into consideration, especially in the areas of hygiene and protection of the environment?
We have different committees, up to 21 committees. So all this arrangement is very clear, and people that are sitting one very well is working on the committee of VENO.
With the love demonstrated by loyalists, there is a clear indication that Nigeria, Africa, and the world can become a better place when the right doctrines and counsel are in place, just as exemplified by the late Sheikh Ibrahim Inyas, who lived a pleasant life.
Do you see these people now? More than these people, he don't see Sheikh Ibrahim, but he knows Sheikh Ibrahim. But he see Ibrahim, he don't see Ibrahim for eyes, but he see Ibrahim for heart.
And I've never seen the heartland of Tijaniya as I'm seeing it today. It's very interesting, it's very encouraging, it's a very beautiful experience.
Great legacies never die. Moving on, in the past, it was normal to see clusters of men at newspaper stands every morning reading for free. They were called members of the Free Readers Association. Today, membership is dwindling and social media has become the alternative. In this report, Justina Etim seeks to find out if things will ever return to the way they used to be.
Newspapers are serial publications which contain news on current events of special or general interest. This printed media, usually distributed daily, weekly, or monthly, may contain advertisements, editorials, entertainment, and other issues. Before the advent of the internet, it was common to find people gathering at newspaper stands, reading and analyzing issues as they unfold, which led to the formation of Free Readers Association. However, newspaper vendors said the trend is fast becoming a thing of the past, adding that newspaper business is no longer lucrative as patronage has also dwindled drastically.
The business is not more functioning because people are reading from their phones, from their network. So we are just on the way without we don't have any patronage again. No more customers.
If everybody when you come here is supposed to buy the paper, you are coming to read. Some can take 4 or 5 and read and finish very hard before they buy one.
Though some buyers said they still prefer reading news from the hard copy, others said with their phones they can read news as it breaks from the social media and online newspapers, which makes reading the hard copy obsolete.
I read them online, but sometimes I buy the newspaper because at times there are some information you see on the phone which you will not find them in the newspaper.
I buy papers, but I prefer using phone because you might not have time to go out sometimes to go and buy newspaper outside, so you just stay at home, you use your phone.
Well, because I read almost all the news I have need in my phone. That's just the simplest reason. Yeah. Nearly every news that is in that paper is always in my phone.
Just speak today, but it has been a long time since I have been hearing the news from the television and then watching the net and all whatnot. So I am feeling that the services of the newspaper is somehow becoming outdated.
I get information from the papers. In the phone, you may get wrong information from phones. In phone, there is a lot of lines on the phone. People write a lot of things, so many things
on the phone that is not real. The paper here is covered by ethics. Whatever thing you read in the paper is covered by ethics. So in phone, there's no ethics in phone. You can put whatever, you can talk to the president without fear or favor because there's no ethics in the phone.
Despite the ease of accessing news on the net and social media, respondents also assert that other usefulness of the newspaper hard copy, such as reference purpose among others, will continue to make its relevance in this modern time.
Well, technology has made life much easier, and we have to accept that some practices will fade away. Next up, organ donation has saved the lives of many in developed climes, and medical experts in Nigeria over the years have tinkered with the idea of persuading Nigerians at the point of death to donate their organs to those who may need it. Annie Daniels sought the views of Nigerians on this sensitive issue.
The human body is made up of organs and cells. As complex as these organs may look, they all play vital roles in human existence and well-being. For instance, the kidneys are known to purify the blood and aid disposal of waste products from the body. However, for some reasons, the kidneys can malfunction. And when this occurs, one thing is inevitable: kidney transplant. Other organs that can be transplanted include the cornea, the heart, and the liver. These organs are usually gotten from a certified donor, some are dead or still living.
The cornea, that's the front part, the foremost part of the eye, the clear, glassy part of the eye. And when it is damaged, it becomes cloudy, and light cannot get into the back of the eye. So the people that have this disease, that have these challenges, they cannot see. So they are temporarily blind that time. But when a new clear cornea can be gotten for them and put back, and the diseased one is removed, then those people's, their vision, their sight is restored. Unfortunately, we do not have corneas because people are not donating corneas. We still believe we cannot give anything, but corneas are taken after death, not before death.
Margaret Akol recently went through kidney transplant after years of battling with kidney failure.
Actually, the 2 kidneys failed. And how I got my donor, a distant cousin gave me his kidney, So I'm living today, I'm doing very well.
And recently, a boxer, Scott Westgard, while still hale and hearty, donated his vital organs. And when doctors declared him brain dead, the organs were immediately harvested and ready to be transplanted into an available recipient. With this, we ask, how many Nigerians understand what organ donation is and are willing to donate their organs to a loved one?
What would I give out? I can. If it's somebody I know does not take life seriously, somebody I know does not take life seriously, there's no way I can help that person.
If I should sell it out, God will question me, why did you sell it out? But if it is for free, God will not ask me for that.
And even though it's not my own biological sister or biological brother, so I donate my kidney, I will not accept that. So I will die. That person wants to enjoy life, me I want to enjoy life.
As a typical African man who believes in reincarnation, God gave me 2 kidneys. How can I give out 1? Supposing I'm coming back to this world again, what was going to happen to me? So I think if I die and I'm coming back, my body should be complete again.
These medical experts clear the air on this.
I'm an organ donor because I know when I die, none of it will be useful to me. It's all going to rot away. So if I can use it to help somebody to keep another person alive, why can't I?
You have to do something that is safe, something that is good, where you'll be remembered, than to just leave certain things undone until before you know it, you say, oh, done too early. And you start to say so many good things during the funeral of somebody, whereas we were in position to help.
With several respondents attributing their refusal to engage in organ donation to religious and cultural beliefs, I approached some religious leaders.
We do not really encourage that because of the dangers involved, dangers of abuse. You do not play God. when you are not God. If you are dying, you die. May your soul rest in peace.
It's a function of helping somebody, and Islam has encouraged that we help. But there are conditions for helping. First, if you are helping, you are not helping so that you are harming another person. If you donate one and you have challenge with your own, who donates to you? You become a beggar against him. So, that is the issue.
You never know. Nigerians may, in the future, think of organ donation in the positive sense of it. Now, inhabitants of the Federal Capital Territory are alarmed at the growing number of commercial motorcycles and tricycles in the metropolis. Some groups and individuals are urging the authorities to regulate the activities of operators. Metere Ikwe gives us a situation report.
This pedestrian walkway in Area 3 section of Abuja has been taken over by commercial motorcyclists, also known as Okada operators. Their operation along this axis has deprived pedestrians of their right of way, posing great risk to them.
One bike man just came and nearly hit me. So one was even coming at my back. Before I could notice it was a bike man, you know. Even the sound scared me.
And the work of road safety or the VIO, those things to be stored them. But they will see them. They will refuse to store them. That is why you see these people continue.
Despite the ban on motorcycles and tricycles in Abuja's city center by the FCT administration, many commercial motorcyclists seem to be having a field day, as captured by a camera lens here at Area 3 in the heart of the city. The Area 1 section of Abuja is another muster point for commercial motorcycle operators. Here, they operate illegally, sometimes under the nose of FCT VIO officials. Asokoro, a highbrow district of Abuja, is not free from the persistent influx of commercial motorcyclists who are more daring in their operation, sometimes riding against traffic at breathtaking speed. Some FCT residents say the trend is not only embarrassing but risky.
They beat traffic. The rules and the regulations, they don't follow it.
In the process, many cars knock some down. It's becoming an eyesore. We have had cases where Okadas were used to snatch bags.
They should subject them to where they subjected them before. They should have regulators who can regulate them and know exactly what they are doing.
It would appear that enforcing the ban on motorcycles in the city center and restricting operators to the satellite towns of Abuja is a hard nut to crack for the FCT authorities. The more they impound the motorcycles, the more they flood the federal capital city. Audu Baba, a team leader in the FCT Joint Ministerial Task Force against city nuisance, speaks on the trend.
They have been telling them not to supply within city centers. They still keep coming, so we don't know how they used to get more. And any day you go out, you must get new ones. So maybe we have some saboteurs somewhere else that used to sponsor them to buy new one for them.
The records we have received on crashes involving motorcycles taking one way, honestly, is not a good one for us.
If what is worth doing well, residents advocate result-oriented enforcement and urge the FCT authorities to provide more mass transit buses to ease the difficulties faced by commuters in the nation's capital.
Commercial riders everywhere is too much of a good thing. The authorities need to streamline their activities. Another break is due. Let's take it. The families you're about to see in this report are despondent and traumatized. Nothing would have prepared them for the agony of losing everything they ever worked for to flames. Marian Vincent Oko reports that although no life was lost, the aftermath of the inferno was a trail of tears and sorrow.
March 19, 2019 will remain indelible in the minds of residents of number 27 Joshua Uwa Street, Mbagitam 3 in Itu local government area of Akwa Ibom State, and unfortunately, not for very pleasant experiences. Early hours of this day, they all woke up to what will remain a nightmare to them in many years to come, a fire outbreak. Meet Gloria Okon, an ad hoc staff with the National Population Commission, whose entire property has been razed in the inferno that started at about 2 a.m. This mother of three, while narrating in an emotion-laden voice her losses, says the piece of clothing she's having on is the only item that was saved.
I heard a shout, so I jumped out also myself. When I came, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The whole building was flaming with black flames. So what I could do, I rushed inside to pick up my children. So I carried them out. When I brought them out, I was about going in, so at least to pick up my documents. They were telling me, don't go inside again. It's about to explode. Everywhere was dark. I didn't even know what to do. I don't know where to start from.
Her predicament is not an isolated case, as 8 other families comprising 30 persons, including this 6-month-old baby, have not only become homeless, but also helpless. In fact, some do not even have clothes to wear.
I hear a bounce on my door very strongly, very serious. So as we are rushing out, the next thing we see is fire, which I cannot even stand. So my wife rushed in and took my 2 daughters out. Now we cannot remove anything from there, we cannot remove. So since as we came out, look at us, we are like that.
At that position you see there, so I see this flame just going up. From there I had to rush in on getting it, just pick my food. Came out from there, we used to look for a way to make sure we tame the temple down, but to no avail.
So we had to go and call my co-tenants that please just stand up this fire. We came, we opened the gates, we brought out water and area, at least like first aid, a remedy. We dissolved the aerial in water we were trying to throw, and the thing overpowered us. We couldn't.
What they desperately need now are just the basic necessities of life: food, clothing, and shelter, and maybe a little more to set them up and give them a new lease of life.
I paid my rent from January through December.
Right now, we don't have where to stay. We don't have even clothes. We don't even see. I'm now even not slippers. I don't have.
Thankfully, no life was lost, and the cause of the fire outbreak is not yet ascertained.
Those families need the support of kind-hearted Nigerians. Let's be a brother's keeper. Residents of Jakada in Gwale local government area were thrown into mourning period when a 26-year-old man ended the life of his 17-year-old wife. The murder remains a surprise because prior to the killing, the couple seemed to be in harmony with each other. Hadiza Mohammed, who has been following the unfolding drama, reports that Kano State Police Command has commenced full-scale investigation.
Residents of Jakada quarters in Oreiba are in a state of grief, having received the shocking news of murder attributed to 26-year-old trader Aminu Inuwa. Aminu Inuwa had slaughtered his wife Safarau late night following undisclosed misunderstanding between them. He committed the act in the presence of 4-year-old Fatima, a daughter to the deceased uncle living with them. Aminu's ignorance was what ultimately got him caught after informing a next-door neighbor that his wife was missing. On entering the house with the neighbor, he noticed blood stains on the wall and other places within the premises where he buried Safarau.
I came back, I saw the crowd of people. They are telling me that our neighbor slaughtered his wife. We tried to remove her and the police arrived.
Following investigation from the police, Aminu confessed to his deed. He, however, claimed not in his right senses when he committed the gruesome act.
I have found myself in a devastating state, which I now regret, but I definitely committed the offense.
Even more chilling is the fact that Amina and Safarau are first cousins that hailed from Shira local government of Bauchi State. The police public relation officer, DSP Abdullahi Haruna, says after investigation, the suspect will be arraigned before the court.
The corpse was exhumed by a team of police officers and photographed and rushed to Murtala Mohammed Specialist Hospital for autopsy. The suspect, that is the husband, was arrested, and based on our preliminary investigation, he confessed to the police that he is the one that carried out this ugly act.
He, however, cautioned the public to avoid taking out anger on one another, which will easily land one in trouble.
As investigations continue, we intend to bring updates. That's Newsline this week. Thanks for watching. Be good and have a fruitful week. Your next assignment is to stay with us, because coming up next is Alibaba Seriously, who is looking really chilled tonight.
Yes, we're done with elections, where Nigeria is moving on, and I was just happy about the celebration of the 1994 Olympic Eagles.
Yeah, that was
the
great.
winning team. It was a great. In fact, we should celebrate.
You always find a way of dragging sports in. Why do you do that?
Because Arsenal was beaten today. Let's look for something else to celebrate. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, and good night, and God bless Nigeria.